The idea that people think that they know you, I think because of how intrusive media is these days, people care so much more about your personal life than they do your work, and if you aren't open with your personal life, then they just make it up for you and share it for you.
I mean, honestly, the way that I get into a character is through their style. So it was more about who Lily is that was so fascinating to me, is that she's a walking, talking contradiction, yet it's perfectly harmonious for her.
Yeah. So it's a bit of a tough adjustment in our house, but it's good. I mean, I have two other daughters, so my oldest is very into the baby, but my middle child, not so much. But we're thinking of keeping her.
Does she like play with her? What does she think?
Well, she sort of like pretends to play with her. So like in the beginning, our oldest is like loving on her, and she's like very maternal, and then our middle daughter is just keeps away from.
My dad was just of that generation where it's just like he was Clint Eastwood, less is more, simple grunt.
But I was like just tracking him down, and then I finally got to read the script, and the script was a thriller. So that was a little confusing to me because he's like such a funny director. And so I said, you know, what is this? Because the script is definitely like a twisting, turning, intense thriller. Is it a comedy or a thriller? And he said, yes. So then every day on set, I was like, is today a comedy or is it?
I mean, honestly, the way that I get into a character is through their style. So it was more about who Lily is that was so fascinating to me, is that she's a walking, talking contradiction, yet it's perfectly harmonious for her.
I think the idea that people think that they know you, I think because of how intrusive media is these days, people care so much more about your personal life than they do your work, and if you aren't open with your personal life, then they just make it up for you and share it for you.
Thriller, and it's like, it's like really kind of over the top and campy and trashy and fun, and like, kind of like my outfit.
He was, after I gave birth, he was like, oh my gosh, if I lost you and I, went to the park with our 3 kids, I mean, think of the ladies I can see. Like, this is a horrible thing to say. And he's like, I mean, I've got a long list. And I was like, oh really? Because I just have one on my list.
And it's funny.
No, it's so much more of a burn. He's like, wait, who? And I was like, think of someone. Tom Newhart. I don't know.
Blake Lively, America's sweetheart, now facing legal action from Marvel Studios? The shocking lawsuit has fans questioning everything about her seemingly perfect Hollywood image. But what if this is just the tip of the iceberg? How did a dispute with another filmmaker explode into a legal war with one of the biggest studios in the world? And could this threaten Ryan Reynolds' future as Deadpool? Before we dive into this Hollywood roller coaster, make sure to like, share, and subscribe. Every subscription helps me afford more coffee to survive this wild celebrity drama. Seriously, this lawsuit is stressing me out, and caffeine is the only thing keeping me going. Marvel's unprecedented lawsuit against Blake Lively hit the industry like a bombshell. The studio, famous for keeping its secrets under lock and key, rarely takes public legal action against anyone, especially the spouse of one of their biggest stars. But the allegations were serious. Blake was accused of leaking confidential Deadpool material. Fans were stunned. Why would she risk her husband's career and her own reputation? But this lawsuit didn't come out of nowhere. It started with a completely different Hollywood feud. Blake had been working on a new film with Justin Baldoni, known for heartfelt dramas like 5 Feet Apart. On paper, it seemed like a perfect match, but behind the scenes, things quickly turned ugly. Baldoni was directing, starring, and co-writing the movie, and Blake reportedly felt sidelined. Creative clashes spilled into the press. Blake accused Baldoni of planting negative stories about her. But when text messages were exposed, they told a different story. Blake was allegedly threatening to use her power circle to force her way. That power circle? It included her husband, Ryan Reynolds, aka Deadpool. This is where things got messy. Rumors spread that Blake may have used Marvel secrets as leverage in her media battles. Fans couldn't believe it. Was she really exploiting insider Deadpool info to control press coverage? Marvel wasn't taking any chances. Their lawyers started investigating. The findings were alarming. There were whispers that Blake had leaked plot details, cameo surprises, or script snippets to the media. Anything involving Deadpool grabs headlines, so this would be a powerful tool to distract from negative press. Marvel saw it as a betrayal. Filing the lawsuit was their nuclear option, a warning that no one is above their rules, not even the spouse of their star. That left Ryan Reynolds stuck in the middle. Fans noticed his silence. Known for his quick wit and playful social media presence, he suddenly went quiet. When he finally spoke, his statement was carefully neutral, praising Marvel, but not outright defending Blake. Speculation ran wild. Was he siding with Marvel to protect his role, or quietly standing by his wife? Then came the biggest question of all. Could this lawsuit actually cost Ryan his role as Deadpool? The franchise revived his career and made him a Hollywood powerhouse. But Marvel values loyalty above all. Insiders whispered that the studio was weighing its options. Could they really recast Deadpool if their trust in Ryan was shaken? Fans panicked at the thought. Meanwhile, the legal case dragged on. Marvel's lawsuit hinted at more than just leaks. Breaches of contracts, economic damages, and subpoenas that could expose private messages between Blake and Ryan. This wasn't just celebrity gossip anymore. Real careers were on the line. Adding fuel to the fire, smaller entertainment websites began reporting that they had received exclusive tips from sources close to Blake, hinting at major Deadpool plot points. These so-called exclusives conveniently surfaced at times when the media was most focused on Blake's feud with Baldoni. Coincidence? Marvel didn't think so. They believed it was a calculated strategy. Leak some Marvel gold to shift the narrative. Ryan's normally lighthearted online banter faded. Even his interactions with Blake on social media became noticeably colder. For a couple known for their playful public relationship, this shift was hard for fans to ignore. Behind closed doors, was their marriage feeling the strain of this legal crisis? Marvel insiders suggested that the studio had privately discussed the unthinkable, recasting Deadpool. While Ryan's portrayal is iconic, Marvel's brand is bigger than any single actor. Recasting could preserve their iron grip on confidentiality and show that even a fan-favorite star is not indispensable. This revelation sent shockwaves through the fandom. Could anyone else really fill Ryan Reynolds' shoes? As Marvel prepared its legal case, Blake's legal team fought back. They denied all accusations, insisting that she never had access to official Deadpool secrets. They claimed Marvel was using her as a scapegoat for broader internal leaks. But the damage was done. The perception of Blake as a master manipulator lingered. Industry analysts speculated on the potential fallout. If Marvel proved its case, Blake's career could take a major hit. Studios might view her as a liability. On the other hand, if Marvel's accusations fell apart, the studio could be seen as overly aggressive, risking its relationship with Ryan. Behind the scenes, rumors swirled about tense conversations between Ryan and Marvel executives. Could he convince them that his loyalty remained intact? Or would the shadow of Blake's alleged actions hang over him forever? So what's next? The lawsuit is still ongoing. Rumors suggest settlement talks, but nothing is confirmed. Ryan's future as Deadpool hangs in the balance. Blake's once perfect image now carries whispers of manipulation. And Marvel? They've made one thing clear. No one messes with their secrets. That's the latest on this Hollywood drama. But who knows what twist is coming next? Make sure to like, share, and subscribe because every sub fuels my coffee addiction, and trust me, I'll need it to keep up with these lawsuits.